I believe we have a few last-minute folks that it looks like they're logging in. So great stuff. I'm just happy to have you guys on the call. I think you'll appreciate what you're going to hear this evening. Just to make it official, this is an opportunity for you to learn more about financial education services, the objective of the company, what they've been doing throughout the years. It's also an opportunity for you to learn about what the company is doing, but more so for us to see if you're the right fit for what we're doing, whether as a part-time endeavor or maybe as a career option, because certainly we have quite a few folks in a myriad of different experiences and career objectives and so forth, and they've seen the value of what the corporation has done. Well, it just so happens that my background happens to be in investment banking, actually primarily in law, and then moved on to the banking side, and realizing after doing the institutional banking portion and then working with individuals in terms of mortgages and so forth, certainly we got a chance to see people that may have gone through certain personal situations, whether it was a medical issue or a marital situation in the family or even a death in the family, that caused challenges to come up, situations to come up, and unfortunately, when these scenarios or when these blips in our history come up, it's very difficult to kind of get back on our feet. And at the time that I saw FES, at the time that I saw the company, I'd realized that there were a lot of families that, because of these situations in their lives, they weren't able to qualify for things like a mortgage. They weren't able to get a car at a decent interest rate. They weren't able to get a lot of the benefits that we ourselves might want to have in terms of moving forward and having a kind of quality of life that we all strive for. So why FES? Well, think about it. How many people out there have less than perfect credit? It's reported that well over 43 million people don't even have a 600 credit score. So certainly that means that 43 million people can't afford, they can't qualify for a home loan to buy a house or even get a car with a decent interest rate. 43 million people can't even qualify to get a cell phone for that matter, because nowadays it's true. They run credit for a little of anything, for everything nowadays. How many people out there have debt and no idea how to pay it off? How many people out there don't have their personal and even their financial affairs in order? Hopefully you've not had to encounter this, but there are many families that situations happen where the family member, the head of the family, oftentimes they may have passed on and no one knows where to find that information, whether it's the life insurance policies or the pension documents or anything else. Well, think about this. How many people out there dislike their current job and are looking for a career change, looking for an option? I heard it said that over 80% of individuals that graduate from college actually end up not even working in the field that they got their degree in, realizing maybe because it was an issue of money or just the opportunity that presented itself. But in the end, how many people actually need to make more money? Having more money, because hey, I know my situation, it was I had more month than I had money to live. And when ends don't meet, well, we have to find a way to make a stopgap in there. How many folks out there can't afford an annual vacation, for example? Having 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off for vacation is great, but wouldn't it be pretty nice if we were able to go to places that had the kind of water that you could see your toes after about 3 or 4 inches or even 3 or 4 feet being in there? You see, I'm from New York. And in New York, we have some pretty cool places that you can go to, but the beaches are not exactly the most majestic. And I know anyone that's on the call here in New York might disagree, but I think the waters in Bahamas and in other parts of the world, and especially in the Caribbean, are a whole lot nicer, warmer, clearer for sure. And so by not having that money that comes with the time that we have off, oftentimes leads us to something that I recently heard called you'll have a staycation. You know, that's when you have the time off for vacation, but you stay at home and just kind of do some things around the house or chores. And unfortunately, not having the money, not having the time, not having a lot of those benefits and those things, the ducks in a row, if you will, oftentimes led me, for example, to justify why it is that I'm doing these things. But if the money and the time was there, certainly it would offer a whole lot more options. How many people out there aren't where they want to be in life? And that was my situation. When I got a chance to to get around the company and learn what the company offered and see how much it could be a benefit to so many people. Certainly, it was exciting for me and my family and my household. I certainly knew that we needed it, but then realizing that there's so many other people that could benefit from what we're doing, and we're just looking for a solution and a plan of action. It's so funny. I actually read just a week or so ago that Amazon.com this year for the holiday season that's now upon us will be hiring over 125,000 employees to work during this season. Now, for some of us, we could get excited about that and say, hey, we could throw in an application with Amazon, or we could say, wow, it's a truth that there is a lot of people out there that are trying to make ends meet, whether to work a part-time opportunity, a part-time job, or something, so that they can have a happy holiday. And this is, I think, by the time we're done, you'll see the value of why we can move forward, and you can see FES is certainly a solution. But think about, why is it that people are in the financial situations that they're in? Why is it that people have damaged credit and they have their financial affairs out of order? In truth, it's because we didn't learn that in our formal education system. We didn't learn about, I don't know about you, but I didn't learn about balancing a checkbook. I didn't understand the value of credit and what makes good credit. I didn't know how to do a budget. I didn't learn all of these things. And unfortunately, when we don't learn those, we end up having to pay a fee. It could be insufficient funds fees. It could be low balance fees. It could be high interest rate fees, but certainly fees nonetheless. And that was the objective of financial education services. You see, to provide the financial education and the success training we needed a long time ago by offering the services that protect our identity, our credit, our family, even our finances, and ultimately, if you see the value for yourself and for your family, if you see the value of how much it could do for the people that you know, even the folks that are in your cell phone, all those names and numbers, think about it. If we can be of value to them, then yeah, this can offer a pretty lucrative and promising life-changing opportunity for you and for them, for that matter. But let's go ahead and talk about FES. It was founded back in 2004, headquartered in Farmington Hills, Michigan. They sport some things that are unprecedented in our industry. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau. They have over 100% annual sales growth year over year. Again, unprecedented. And they've done that while operating as a debt-free corporation. And to speak to the stability of the company, the same key executives since the company's inception, Mr. Mike Toloff and Mr. Parimal Nayak, the co-founders of the company. And what they developed was what's now known as the Protection Plan membership. And this is a plan that protects our identity, our credit, our family, our finances, and now our lifestyle and our future. So what's in your Protection Plan membership? Well, it starts with credit restoration. You see, today your credit score is like a vital sign, and it is being monitored at all times. It can impact everything from your insurance premiums and your interest rates. And nowadays, I think we know landlords want to see a credit report oftentimes before they rent out an apartment that they have. Certainly, not having strong enough credit, you could be denied the opportunity to purchase a home or a car or anything else for that matter, qualifying for a loan, to get a credit card, and nowadays even employment. With many employers now, when you sign your name on that employment application, right above that you acknowledge and you give permission to that prospective employer that they can do a consumer credit check, not just a background, but a consumer credit check. And oftentimes that affects not only the new hires, but individuals that are trying to get promoted within the company. And once they see the credit, it may compromise that opportunity to get employed or to get that promotion. So your credit is a pretty serious thing. The challenge with credit, however, the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they're not bureaus from the standpoint of being government entities and agencies or anything like that. They're actually privately held billion-dollar companies. The challenge with that is that they don't maintain our records correctly. And it's actually reported that well over 4 in 5 credit reports, or 80% of credit reports, have errors on them that over our lifetime could cost us a lot of money. They're reporting our credit information incorrectly. And over the course of our lifetime, having less than excellent credit also means that it'll cost us anywhere from $200,000 to $1 million in escrow deposits, down payments, security deposits, earnest money deposits, all kinds of security, because having a lower credit score also means that we're a higher risk. And that's where you're going to be connected with United Credit Education Services. You see, United Credit is a not-for-profit credit education company, a financial services company that's geared towards correcting those negative items that show up on our credit profile. Things like our late payments, charge-offs, collection accounts, medical bills, student loans, repossessions, judgments, even bankruptcies and other negative items now can be removed from your credit under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And these are laws that are designed to make sure that we are protected. However, these laws go back to 1971. And like any law, if we don't know that we have certain rights, then we're going to be taken advantage of because we're not exercising those rights. And that's why you're going to be connected with a company that now has a almost 15-year track record, close to 1 million derogatory items deleted from people's credit reports, tens of thousands of satisfied customers, while still sporting an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau and fully accredited with the Better Business Bureau and accredited with the Federal Trade Commission. So it's pretty powerful what they've done. But it didn't stop there. The company realized that you need other valuable credit building services. Think about having a positive credit builder. This is a system that gives you recommendations on how you can add positive trade lines to your credit profile. Because ultimately, your credit score goes up by the positive items that go onto your profile, not just removing the negative items. Certainly, that stops it from going any lower, but the positive items is what raises your score. You'll also have access to Debt Zero. Now, this is an online interactive debt payoff system. Imagine being able to pay off things like a 30-year mortgage in half the time, paying off a 5-year car loan in about 2 years with the same money that you're using now. And this is a system that banks actually use in order to get their spread on the interest that they charge customers and what they themselves get the money for. Powerful because it works it in reverse. You'll also have access to a credit attorney, and this attorney, so you can feel at ease knowing that you have a defense team on your side. And if your home phone rings and you kind of think about it, who picks up their home phone anymore? Very few of us, I'm sure. But it's crazy to believe that now you'll also have access to a credit attorney that can watch over and protect you from any abusive practices of collectors and creditors. You'll also have access to a credit monitoring system that you can see what's going on with your credit scores 24/7. You'll be able to see what's going on and how effectively the company is working on your behalf, so you can monitor it, see it as often as you want without having any damage done to your credit score. But certainly documentation beats conversation, and this is just a cross-section of clients that have had a tremendous result with our services. Yvette Reed out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. In just 2 months, her credit score increased to the point that her car insurance premium was lowered by $2,000 a year. Now, many people don't realize that your car insurance, oftentimes, depending on the company, the insurance company, but could be based your insurance premium, or rather the credit score, could affect as much as 60% of the basis for the premium that you pay. So the higher your credit score, the lower the payment. Well, in her decision to do that, the company did so well, $2,000 a year. Think about that decision 5 years from now. That means she saved $10,000 just by making the decision of getting her credit improved. Now, some people might say, well, credit is not important, and it's not really until you need to use it. Think about Brian Faluca out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. His credit score went from a 586 to a 748, allowing him to purchase a new car with no money down and a very low monthly payment. You've seen it before. You've seen the Mercedes and the Lexus and the BMW commercials, likely, and you've seen them, and they always tell you about all the features of the car, but in the end, they'll say that you can get zero down, zero do it signing, 0% interest, and all these things, but then they close out by saying, for qualified buyers. You see, when Brian Faluca had a 586, he was just hoping to get a car, no matter what the interest rate was, most likely. But when you have a 748, you can do exactly that. No money down, get the best deal possible because you've got your credit swagger back, so to speak, okay? But then other people will tell you some things like, oh, bankruptcies can't be removed and you have to wait 7 to 10 years. Well, hey, listen, you got to be careful who you listen to. You really do. Because Johnny and Sandra Moeller, thankfully, they listened to the professionals and they had their bankruptcy removed. They were able to then purchase a home with a low fixed interest rate, saving them almost $1,000 a month. Again, decide who you're listening to, and in the process, think about their decision over the course of 10 years. That's $120,000 that they've saved just by making the move and getting that bankruptcy removed so that they can qualify for the loan. And then other negative items like tax liens and foreclosures. 45 days with Vinnie Howe out of the California area. Again, having some phenomenal results, and thousands of testimonials like that come in on an ongoing basis to the company of the good that the company is doing, of what FES is doing. But again, they didn't stop there. They realized that there are other protection plan benefits that people need, like LifeLock. Think about your identity being protected. It was reported that well over 15 million people have their identity stolen every year. But think about last year, 2015, 21 million government workers got their information stolen, meaning their name, their address, social security number, their date of birth, everything that they have. And this was with the Department of Personnel Management, the federal government agency that maintains all of the information for federal workers across the country was hacked by a foreign power. So what can you do? Oftentimes you can't stop something from being stolen, but isn't it good that you can be protected, that if your information is used for any illegal purposes, at least you are protected, like having insurance on your name, that if someone were to compromise your information and steal it and use your information to do something illegal, you are covered. You won't be responsible for having to deal with that. Powerful, proactive monitoring, the best in the industry. And certainly it's included in your protection plan membership. But you'll also have access to your family protection. If you don't already have one, you understand the importance of having things like a will, a living trust to protect you from creditors and to protect your estate, a power of attorney over your financial affairs, another power of attorney over your health, your medical affairs. These are important. Also a financial lockbox. All of these programs are developed by attorneys. Great thing is with that financial lockbox, you can also organize all of your personal and financial information in a virtual password-protected safety deposit box that in the event something were to happen to you, your loved ones would know where to find that information. Because if we don't have our estate in place, and we don't say who we want to designate to handle certain things or to receive certain things upon our death, and I know that that's not a really cool thing to talk about, but it's a reality, isn't it? It is a reality. Wouldn't it be good to know that the people that you want to get it will get it, as opposed to the judge or the law saying that someone else is supposed to receive that? This is a serious thing. You guys may have heard of a gentleman by the name of Prince, an artist, passed away not too long ago, and because he didn't have a will, because he didn't have a living trust, because he didn't have his financial affairs in order, his estate is wound up in probate, and there's a craziness going on with his family and who's his family and who's not. These are things that you can avoid by just making the decision to use services like this one. But again, you also have money-saving benefits like a prescription discount card. You'll have your own FES discount travel portal, which is absolutely phenomenal, especially for hotels and for any air travel that you're looking for. You can shop online at retailers that you go to right now, whether it's Macy's or Amazon or wherever you shop from, but you'd be able to save significantly and get paid cash back on your transactions. You'll also have access to insurance solutions. You have access to an experienced insurance professional that can assess all of your insurance needs, things like medical, vision, dental, renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance, and so many other insurances to make sure that you and your family are properly protected. When you decide to use the services, as you log on, you'll be able to go to fesprotectionplan.com. And this is where it houses all of the information relating to our services, the video, and accessing your personal portal to address all of those matters that we've spoken about earlier. But what's protecting your family and your lifestyle and your future worth? Think about just an estate plan, to have a will and a trust and powers of attorney, for example. Realize that attorneys charge anywhere from $250 to $500 an hour and sometimes more. And that would take several hours to get your estate plan done, costing thousands and thousands of dollars. I think individually you're looking, if these services individually will cost over $10,000, and if you got it on a monthly program of some sort, over $400 a month. But with the money-saving benefits tied into this bundle of services under the FES protection plan, you're not paying $5,000 or even $1,000. You're only paying $87 a month. And by the time we're done, we'll even talk to you about how you could potentially get these services for absolutely free. Well, with that $87 a month, as we mentioned earlier, we didn't learn a lot of, in terms of being financially literate, we didn't learn about financial literacy, many of us, while we were going through our formal education years. And so the company, FES, the owners of the company have committed themselves to stem the tide of financial illiteracy in this country. And they started with the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. And the objective of that foundation is to educate young people from ages of 8 to 18 on matters of personal finance. And what they do is take $2 from each of those plan memberships of the 87 and donate it to the YFL. The YFL's objective is to teach financial literacy in schools across the country, and they've also launched the annual college scholarships for high school seniors and college freshmen. And this is so amazing. This is so powerful because not only does it demonstrate the giving the owners to the community, giving back to the community, but it also emphasizes that we're part of that, and they also want to do something about it. The growth and the traction that the protection plan is having across the country is phenomenal. This annual scholarship, for example, started 2 years ago. And in 2014, $25,000 was given to high school seniors and college freshmen. In 2015, just last year, it doubled to $50,000, and this year, in February, it went to $100,000. So this is a doubling effect that's pretty powerful. Well, in 2017, for this 2017 year, and by the way, we are currently in the college scholarship enrollment period, which will end on December 15th. So you certainly want to get together with the person that invited you. And if you know a high school senior or college freshman that's planning to go to school, they could potentially qualify for some of this money. But it's not $100,000. It's $180,000 that's going to be available for high school seniors, 40 children to collect this money, to get this money from the company to help them pursue their educational objectives, with the top recipient receiving $25,000. So certainly that's not an opportunity that you want to miss. I think at this point we can say that the services themselves, I think we can agree that 99% of America needs at least one of the services that FES offers, no doubt about that. And that brings us to our career opportunity. In truth, like any business, if you have more customers than you have the people to deal with all of the flow of business, then you potentially can lose those customers. And that's a good problem to have, mind you. It's great to have more business than you can handle, but we want to make sure that we make the public aware of what we're doing. And so in terms of our career opportunity, what are we looking for? We're looking for people that want to take control. They want to take control of their income. They want to take control of their schedule and their advancement, even their benefits. Think about it. If you're working where you're working because of the benefits that they offer, do you realize that if you were self-employed or if you were making enough money, you could actually pay for your own benefits and have it under your own business? What about retirement and your future? See, when we look at periodicals like Fortune and U.S. News and World Report and even Time Magazine, you'll see it. It's right on the cover. Finished at 40, 50, and fired. Where did my career go? Will I ever be able to retire? How many people out there that thought that at this point in your life you would have been further along? Well, unfortunately, we can't do that as long as we're within a corporate situation, or even if we self-employed and we own our own business. Many times the owner of the business really doesn't own it. It's the business that owns them. They might have a company, a grocery store, or some other business self-employed. The challenge is that there's no day off. There's no time to enjoy the fruit of your labor. And we say, welcome to hybrid marketing. Because this indeed is where corporate America meets entrepreneurship. This is where we tie in with having the structure of corporate America, but without the ceiling in terms of the income that comes along with that. And the way that we earn that income is through two separate divisions. We have our corporate accounts and establishing personal clients with our protection plan membership and even sales of our individual services. And we also have our business development side, which is where we recruit and train and even manage a national sales organization. And those require two different thought processes, and we'll go through that as we go along. Because at first one, in terms of the corporate accounts, That's more the account management side. Think about it. Mortgage brokers, car dealerships, real estate agents. Well, what are those? Those are industries that require credit-worthy clients. If they have a mortgage broker, can they get a loan for someone that has poor credit? Not likely. Maybe a car dealership can do that, but the interest rate's going to be through the roof. Real estate agents can't do much with someone that's not qualified. So as an account manager, you'd be going in and helping them deal with their unqualified prospects and turn them into qualified buyers once we help them with their credit. But we don't stop with just the credit-worthy clients, those industries, but even the ones that have damaged credit, loan modification companies, debt settlement companies, even bankruptcy attorneys. I think we can agree that if someone's dealing with loan modification or even a debt settlement, their credit's already taken quite a big hit. And even after the service, after the bankruptcy, after the tax liens and things are cleared off, now it's about giving them a new start, a fresh start to get their lives back in order. And that's what we offer to these individuals. Now, the way we get paid, the first way is through personal commissions. We talked about these protection plan memberships for 87. Well, think about the people in your cell phone. Think about the contacts in your phone. Well, how many people out there today that you know likely have some issues with their credit or excessive amounts of debt? Well, for each $87 protection plan sale you get, you'll earn almost 60% commission or $50. Well, think about it. And you get your first 2 protection plan customers, within your first 30 days, they'll add what's known as a fast track bonus and give you that third to be paid out. So simply put, in terms of the potential, 3 customers a week, you're talking about $600 a month. Now, does that get you to the Taj Mahal? Does that take care of too many things? Maybe not, but maybe it makes a car payment. Maybe it pays the cable bill, your utility bill. It pays something. It certainly takes the edge off. What about 6 customers a week? Now that's $1,200 a month. That might cover rent. It could certainly cover groceries, maybe your car payment for sure. Hopefully it will be taken care of by then. But what does $1,200 a month mean to you? Or 15 customers a week. Now, that's not you running all over the place with flyers and handing out things, but think about it. Do you know how many people do you know in the real estate industry? Who sold you your car? Who do you know in the auto industry? Who do you know that does mortgages? See, they encounter people that decline all the time, don't they? Well, if you could offer them a solution by helping their unqualified borrowers get their credit up so that they can go ahead and sell them or qualify them for the loan, you'd kind of be seen as a person that's very important in their life, wouldn't you? Well, great. Well, 15 customers a week would represent about $40,000 a year to you. That's pretty powerful. And many of these services can also be offered individually. But let's talk about the business development side. Because this, again, it requires a different thought process. Here you're an accountant, there you were an account manager, but think about the broker in a brokerage, in a real estate brokerage or even insurance brokerage. Ask the question. What's more important? J. Paul Getty, first documented billionaire in America, he put it this way, that it's better to get 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of his own. See, he realized that as long as he was the only one responsible for his income, if something happened to him, something also happened to his income. But if he could pass that information on, think like a broker, find the people that are able to do the job and put them in a position to get paid, and then he gets a percentage from that, just like a real estate broker, just like an insurance broker, just like a mortgage banker or any other industry that you're in, it's the same scenario. So that brings us to what we call our customer acquisition bonuses. And this is where we enroll a new agent with a protection plan membership and help them to produce $340 in sales and within their first 70 days. So let's just give you an example. As an agent, if you decide you can work solo, certainly you can work on your own, or you can decide to develop an agency of your own. It's totally up to you. But by expanding your agency, when that agent produces 2 sales, well, they're going to get paid their commission, but you're also going to receive that customer acquisition bonus, that $100 in cab, plus the residuals that pay on the recurring $87. Well, as you continue to go through our compensation plan and you get promoted, you'll then be known as a field trainer. That's when you've done $1,600 in agency production, but that also comes with a 60% increase in pay. Every promotion comes with an increase in pay. Well, as a field trainer, you bring on an agent that produces a couple sales. Now, instead of $100, you're getting $160. As a senior field trainer, that's $5,000 in production in your agency. When you bring on an agent that produced a couple sales, now you get paid $240. And then as a sales director, and this is what we call our money spot, because many of our agents decide to go full time and make FES their exclusive career. They're able to walk away from their jobs. And why is that? Because this is the highest percentage of growth in terms of compensation in our business. So as a sales director that you bring on an agent, now you're getting paid not $240 but $380 for every agent you tie in with those that gets those sales. But not only do you get paid on what you personally produce or anyone that you bring on board, but like any other industry that's in a commission-based industry, you're also going to get paid based on the production of your entire agency. So as a field trainer, that's where it starts. Let's say your agent decides to duplicate what you've done and bring on an agent of their own. They have that option, and when they do, you get the differential. Your agent would get the 100, you get that 60. When you are a senior field trainer, you get the 140 of the $240 difference, and as a sales director, you're getting paid $280. So $280. Well, how many of those do you need before you tell your boss you feel too good to come into work today? They might say, well, what do you mean? You don't feel good today? No. I feel too good to come in today. Because in truth, what does that do? It means that money creates a lot more choices. Well, it doesn't stop at sales director. We have higher titles, regional sales director, all the way up to our senior executive vice president. That's where it pays out, $550. So for myself as a vice president, we would get paid $500. And for every agent that we bring on board and help them to produce, that's $400. But let's just bring it down to a sales director. A sales director on your personal agents is $380, and on the ones that produce based on how we teach in our system, that's $280. Flexibility and time. So let's just give you an illustration here. Because we're a national operation, you can have business anywhere around the country, and as those agencies continue to develop and grow, the combined production of all of those agencies will produce to you about $5,000 a month in total customer acquisition bonuses. That also means that because FES pays on a weekly basis. That's WEEKLY. Because they pay on a weekly basis every Thursday, well, whatever production is done that week, you're going to get paid on it. So if you do that $10,000 in production, you're going to earn, especially if you do it the way we teach, you're going to earn about $5,000 a month. But if you do that once a week, now you're talking about $5,000 a week, and there's several individuals within our company that are earning that and even earning double and sometimes triple that. Individuals that are doing an excessive amount of production, but knowing very well that that is available for any agent that really takes this thing seriously. As we mentioned to you before, that $87, as cost-effective, as much value as you get for that protection plan membership, ask yourself the question, how many people do I know with less than perfect credit or excessive debt? Well, if you have 5 agents and or customers that enroll with you, now all of your services are free, totally free. And for every agent that comes on board, that's available to them too. So for every agent, they can go and get their 5, they bring their 5, they bring their 5. And certainly, listen, it's not going to work that way, but this is just to give you an illustration because someone might get 15 or 20. Another person might just get 3. So we're just giving you a quick snapshot of what you could potentially have going on. And over the next 5, 6, 7 years, I don't care how long it takes because it's just going to continue to grow. And when it does, you're going to be paid royalties on each of those protection memberships that are going through, protection plan memberships, leading to you to another method of income that we have, which is known as our infinity bonus. With 19,000 plus protection plans in your business, that's $75,000 a month. Now, listen, I've dealt with a lot of big numbers in the past, and certainly, but when I got to here and knowing that is something that I had available to me, corporate America never offered me a compensation plan like this one. But then, hey, what if we were able to cut it and just 10% as good as it is, $7,500 a month for business that you've done a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line? You see, that was the reality for me. It wasn't that I wasn't earning an income. It's just that after closing a deal, I had to go out there and work and get another one and get another one. And I only was as good as my last deal. There was nothing that came on for what I did every year. And my checks continued to pursue that. But in the meantime, I got a little more tired. It wasn't as easy to go out there. The competition was stiffer. And not that I have an issue with competition, but I wanted to be able to have something that if something in terms of income producing, that if I had a challenge or I had to go away, maybe a family vacation, I wouldn't have to worry about how to fix or how to make up the money that I lost for the 2 or 3 weeks that I would have been away. But what if we had it 1% as good as the real number is? $750 a month. That's a pretty powerful pension plan, isn't it? $750 a month for what you did 5 years ago, 2 years ago. It's awesome. It's absolutely phenomenal. But we're going to go on a little more because as you continue to accumulate these protection plans, you also get to what's known as the R&R Club. And once you've acquired 500 of these protection plans within your business, you start qualifying for that rest and relaxation in retirement. Simply put, at 500 protection plans, FES will now pay for you to drive any Audi of your choice, up to $600 a month. You'll have cash bonuses of anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000, and we have individuals within our company that have earned all of those things. Then you have the upgraded Audi payment to $1,500 a month, and then the housing allowance, where FES will pay your house mortgage, pay on your house every single month. So let's not up to $5,000, but $5,000 a month. So giving you a quick example, if you have a $2,200 a month mortgage, your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, FES is going to pay your bank or financial institution that $2,200 directly. But what about the $2,800 balance? Well, they will take that and apply it directly, to the principal on that loan until the house is paid off. Amazing stuff. And if you don't own a home or if your home is already paid off, that goes into an escrow account until you decide to do exactly that, purchase a home, whether it's a primary or an investment property. Well, you can find out a lot more in terms of the details from the person that invited you onto this call. And then going up to six-figure bonuses, for sure it's worth it. But do understand, the R&R Club is worth over $3 million a year. Now, that's what we call true wealth and freedom because it's something that you've created and it continues to pay you even when you are no longer actively working the same way. Why? Because like J. Paul Getty, you've realized you've taken on the perspective of an owner, which is what I do is not near as much as what I can help other people to accomplish. And when I help people to accomplish, I also am able to be compensated in the process. But none of that in terms of the system is going to make any sense until you are trained. And training and support is really the reason why we have the success that we have in our business, and that's where you get the best information from the best sources. You see, this means two things. It doesn't matter how you came onto this call. It doesn't matter who invited you onto this call. No one can impede your success as long as you plug into the system. And two, you plug your people into that same system. They might even go out and do better than you did, but you know that even as good as they might be, it only means that your business is more and more stable, more and more sturdy. And in terms of the training and support platform, online training, conference calls, even our local trainings and our regional product trainings. We have regional secrets of success trainings. We have our basic program, which is our single day, and we also have our 2-day program. You want to find out from the person that invited you how to get to those trainings to learn exactly what it's going to take to have really a high level of success with our company, and our national advanced workshops. Now, where we are right now is just talking about results. See, because results is all that matters. Everything else is irrelevant. Here's a couple examples. Real estate brokers, Wayne and Jean Kimpson, out of Atlanta, Georgia. Listen, they did very well as brokers, but they depended on closings. Certainly, I can appreciate that. And sometimes, they waited for weeks and even months, which caused a tremendous amount of stress. I can certainly appreciate that. But now with their FES business, they have that as a full-time career. The FES University or FES Academy has now paved the way for them as regional vice presidents. And as a regional vice president, they're doing in excess of $250,000 a month. R&R Club members, they're on their way to retirement. Their future is set. Well, then we have Warren Bar Feld out of the Minneapolis area. Again, across the country, he was a business owner watching his income go backwards due to the changing industry and technology. His financial future was in jeopardy. Well, FES was just what he needed. He tied into the training, got immensely successful. He's now a vice president on the R&R Club, and you see him there with his Audi A7. And with the amount of money that he's earning now, his future, he's no longer a concern for him. Then we have David Moon, David Moon, radio broadcaster, and he'll tell you it sounded pretty good, but he could barely make ends meet. Frustrated, felt his dreams were gone, tied into the FES system. He's now regional vice president, R&R Club member, got his dreams back. And this is a gentleman that travels. He flies all over the place, knowing obviously that he has the flexibility of not having a boss. Where would you go if you know you didn't have a boss to report to? Hey, and then Jill Hallbreich, working 70-plus hours a week in retail. And if you work in retail, you know this is the time of the year where there are no days off in retail. Stressed, frustrated, needed a change, and she decided to do something about it. With all the training and the personal growth that she received, she was able to become a regional vice president, R&R Club member, making more money than ever before. And you see her there with her level 3 check, which is a $10,000 check with FES, or level 2 check, a $10,000 check for the R&R Club. Very, very exciting. But in terms of your level of interest, after all that you've heard, you might have no interest at all, and we're certainly fine with that. But you might certainly know some people that can benefit from the services. Maybe you know some folks that need help with their credit or could benefit from any of the services that we have. Or they might be looking for an opportunity, looking for something that can help them really sink their teeth into and really make an impact in other people's lives. Or you might just be interested in the protection plan membership for yourself and your family to really get things back in order as they should be. Or you might be interested in the protection plan membership and also the financial opportunity. And you're just looking for a game plan on how to get started. So the 4 steps really quickly to get started with our company at FES is first, enroll and become an agent. And you have 2 options. You can be a slow business builder, and that would be $286. There's a one-time enrollment of $199. That's your business startup. There's no annual renewal or anything like that. And you have that $87 protection plan membership that, remember, once you've enrolled 5, those services are now free to you, so there's no cost for you to continue to run your business. And that'll be $286. And option B is more as a pro business builder. Now, as a pro builder understands, a pro, period, knows that in order for you to be successful, in order for you to be really good at what you do, make less mistakes, to get it done and be more effective, is that they have to be trained. Pros are trained, and so the same $286, but now we add the Secrets of Success training, which would be $189 for our 2-day training. So what would you learn, and why is that so important? Well, first of all, is the single most important thing that's added to the success of all the individuals we've highlighted and every individual that is a top producer with our company. You're going to learn how to establish corporate accounts. You're going to learn how to sell and market the protection plan membership, how to establish a substantial team of agents, how to manage a nationwide sales organization and use the systems that we have in place. You'll also understand how to maximize a compensation plan and build a long-term residual or royalty-based income through the agencies that you've developed across the country, and we will help you to do that. You'll learn how to become successful because in the end, it's all about mindset and attitude. That's what separates the people that are immensely successful from the people that are still striving to get there. And you're going to learn from top producers how to become exactly that, a top producer. And once you're enrolled as an agent, you're going to have your own personalized website, your back office tracking system, your agent and customer support. You have a host of individuals at our corporate office that are going to help you to engage your clients and even agents to have questions about what to do. You'll have your professional marketing materials available. Your weekly pay period is always taken care of every Thursday, like payday. But you're also a 1099 agent, which means that you have a tremendous amount of tax advantages that come along with that. And then once you are enrolled, then step 2 is to become a protection plan member. Utilize the services, get the benefits so that you can take advantage of all of these serendipities, all of the goodies that the company makes available, having your credit solid, having your family protected, having all of your ducks in a row financially that, God forbid, something happened to you. But you'll also take advantage of some of the trips and incentives and all the real goodies that the company makes available. Step 3, once you're enrolled, is to expose and expose the people that you know or people that you meet to FES. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you'll develop the sales and the corporate accounts and the other agencies, but this is not something you're going to do on your own. But ask the question, who do you know? Who do you know that has less than perfect credit? Who do you know that doesn't have a will? They don't have a trust or a power of attorney, like Prince. Who do you know that has debt and would benefit from a system to pay off their debt even sooner? Who do you know in credit-related industries like real estate or mortgages, even auto and banking? Or who do you know is looking for a part-time job, a full-time income? They're frustrated with their current career. They need a change. They're looking to be financially free. They're looking for a way. Well, you can now expose them. You can let them know that it's available. We're not recruiting. We're just exposing. We're letting them know that this is available. Okay? And it's just like if you knew that if you happen to work for someone else and you happen to know that at the company that you work, there was an opportunity, there was a job opening there was an opportunity for a position to be filled, and you had a friend, you had someone you knew that was looking, hey, you wouldn't have a problem letting them know that this was available, would you? Not likely. So this is exactly the same thing. They likely don't know anything about FES. As much traction as we've been getting, they really are not as exposed to that as we would like them to be. So this is a great way for you to be just that, but you won't be doing it by yourself. See, because you're learning how to expose people to FES, becoming great at exposing while you're learning to become great at explaining what we do. So you're not working by yourself. See, you have that trust and rapport with your contacts, but not necessarily, at least not at this time, likely the respect and credibility in this industry. And that's why you're going to tie in with an expert. You're going to tie in with one of our sales directors and above that are going to help you, especially in the early stages, to get your business on track, get the foundation right the first time, and to make sure that you have the information, the materials, and the tools to really take advantage and maximize our system and your profitability. So step 4 is really just scheduling your next training. Now, if you just want to be a slow builder to make a couple $100s a week, we're certainly fine with that. And as a slow builder, you really can just benefit from the online training, the conference calls, and even our local trainings, and that should be more than enough to help you to make an extra $200-300 a week. No doubt about that. But as a pro builder, to take advantage and maximize the compensation plan, to really get a hold of those incentives and potentially have a career change, then yeah, training is going to be the crucial element in your business. Our regional product trainings, our regional secrets of success trainings, our national advanced trainings, and our workshops. And there are those that are happening on the East Coast and the Midwest and even on the West Coast. So you want to find out where we have those trainings and learn what it's going to take in order to make this thing happen for yourself. And it's really all about what dreams, what goals, what objectives that you set for yourself, objectives that you want to have materialize in your lifetime. So what's your level of interest? Well, again, you may not have any interest at all, but certainly you can provide some referrals, and we might be able to even have a referral arrangement with you in terms of, making it a sweeter pot for you in terms of the people that you refer. You might also be interested in becoming a customer, potentially, as a customer under the protection plan or taking advantage of any of those single services. Or you might be interested in getting started as an agent. Again, you have two options, as a slow builder or as a pro business builder. And as a pro, certainly we're excited about you coming on and really getting you tied into the system, learning what it's going to take in order to have the kind of success that maybe you're looking for. But either way, whichever category that you select, we're just happy to have gotten some time, or at least I'm happy to have this opportunity to expose. I think you appreciate what you've heard this evening, and we just want to say that make sure to follow up with the person that invited you. Make sure to get your questions answered, but realize that they will also have questions for you to ensure that you're the right fit for what we're doing as well. Either way, again, we just want to say congratulations and welcome. Welcome to our FES team. And with that, just want to say have a blessed night and enjoy your holidays, and we'll see you at the top from the top. Take care now. Bye-bye.
The moderator has left the conference.